Now at 6, breaking news as the Federal Energy Commission issues an order against the Grand River Dam Authority over increased flooding in Miami. Plus, a burst water pipe causes dozens of staff members to evacuate their offices at MSSU. And it's game time as Pitt State hosts an esports expo.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The city of Miami wins a major victory in the long battle over the extensive flooding caused by the Grand River Dam Authority's operations of the Pensacola project. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Elise Snowy. We begin the night with breaking news. Flooding is a decades-long problem for the city of Miami and its residents. An order issued by the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission conclusively found that, quote, the project has increased flooding around the city of Miami. It also says that the GRDA's current FERC license requires GRDA to acquire adequate property rights in perpetuity to accomplish all projects' purposes, including flood control. The order also indicates the GRDA has been in violations of its license since 1997. More than 80 staff members at Missouri Southern had to move their offices to different buildings after a fire sprinkler system pipe broke on the 3rd floor of Hearns Hall on Sunday. Despite the challenges of relocation, the employees are maintaining a positive attitude about the incident. KOAM's Fernanda Silva spoke to some of them.
I call it camping because it's kind of like we're all camping together, and I enjoy being in the banter of the daily.
Alicia Hughes is one of 85 MSSU employees who were forced to move from Hearns Hall to other facilities on campus.
University official says the water ran for about 30 minutes before it could be shut off, spreading water to all 3 floors of the building. The cause for this is still being investigated.
At this point, we don't know if it's weather related. It possibly could be. There was water just flowing down stairwells. There was standing water 2 to 3 inches. So it was a pretty significant situation.
Now the staff members are working to make the most of it.
We're looking for ways to get rid of things that we no longer need. We're looking at our need for more electronic storage of information, and just a lot of opportunities in this move.
But moving has its challenges.
When you think about your office, it's kind of your home, from day to day. And everybody helped with trucks and dollies and all kinds of support. We had people from all over campus helping us.
And adapting to a new work routine is not always easy.
We're still getting adjusted. It's taken a little bit of time. My department is all in one classroom space where we used to have individual offices, so it's a little different. We're very cozy and happy working together as a team.
Working as a team to adjust to their new yet temporary office. In Joplin, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
MSSU hopes to have the building back in operation by the summer. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with a first look at weather.
Well, of course, super cold outside. Temperatures are dropping back. We couldn't get out of the teens this afternoon. It's 13 in Joplin. A lot of traffic. Roads are dry. It's 11 in Pittsburgh, and expect another super cold night tonight. So make sure your faucet is dripping. We've had so many pipes that have bursted around the region, and let them drip all the way through the daytime hours on Sunday. All right, temps low to mid-teens. Will continue to drop back, but you can see this Arctic air which is in place all the way across southern parts of the plains. Just that cold air right on top of us. Then we have a northwesterly wind, 5 to 10 to 15. So when it's this cold, of course, it makes it feel worse. So you get the wind chill. Already feels like 0 to -5 across the region. Those are going to drop. That's why we have a wind chill advisory until the noon hour for us tomorrow. Also a little bit of freezing rain in the forecast. We'll talk about that here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Evergy Energy customers in Missouri will soon see a change to their energy bills. Starting February 1st, as many as 30 counties in the Show Me state, including Barton and Vernon counties, will see the cost of their energy bills go up by another $1.35 a month. A residential customer using 1,000 kilowatt hours of electricity a month will see the additional charge. Pittsburgh State University hosted an intramural esports expo today. The esports intramural program formed last year as part of campus recreation in affiliation with the National Association of Collegiate Esports and the National Esports Collegiate Conference. The public was invited out to watch teams of Pitt State students take on teams from at least 3 other universities.
So esports is competitive video games at its core. So there are various different titles, I like to compare it to like a track meet where, you have your runners, you have your jumpers, you have your throwers, right? Those are all different events, but they're all combined into one, thing. That's what esports is. So we have, our first-person shooters, our MOBAs, and there's some lingo with it, but just different types of games that we compete against.
The PSU Esports Expo began at 10 a.m. and will continue throughout the day with the following matchups: Valorant, Rocket League, Overwatch, and League of Legends. The city of Carthage is asking residents to take a survey about its aquatic center. The Carthage Municipal Pool was originally designed in the 1930s. In addition to the outdated layout, the facility has experienced significant maintenance challenges. Carthage Parks and Recreation Department is asking residents to provide their input to understand the needs and priorities of the community. For more information on how to take the survey, you can visit our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. A new partnership will allow the Kansas Talking Books program to increase the amount of free services it provides to the blind and visually impaired. The program has joined forces with the National Federation of the Blind to provide over 500 publications, including national, state, and international newspapers. The partnership will enable patrons to access a variety of accessibility methods, including a touch-tone telephone, website, iOS mobile app, and Amazon Alexa smart speakers. Later in sports, the Four-State Classic basketball tournament heads into day 2. John has the highlights from the day in just a few minutes. But first, a food bank in Arkansas continues to care for the public despite challenges from the weather.
To pay special attention.
Arkansas is the nation's leader regarding food insecurity. And on top of that, this week's weather forced many hourly workers to lose income with businesses closing. That's where the Arkansas Food Bank comes into play, where they've put in extra efforts to keep its doors open and Arkansans fed. Rebecca Brown has more.
During major winter events like the one we just had, running to the grocery store to stock up on food is a winter weather routine, but not everyone has that luxury.
So it's up to our partners to try to figure out, how do we make sure that they're receiving this food and what does that look like?
Several nonprofits were impacted by the winter storm, causing them to cancel food giveaways. So with the increase in calls for help, Arkansas Food Bank stepped up to try to meet the need.
We were able to get a lot of our pantries rescheduled for their deliveries and pickups and kind of get that into the hands of the community.
According to Sherry Jones, the chief programs officer, food insecurity tends to increase during the inclement weather.
We're going to have families that have lost income during this time frame that may not necessarily be able to go to the grocery store to purchase food now because they've lost, 2-3 days of, wages. And with the kids being out of school, anytime that happens, to ensure that they have the snacks that they want and, different foods that they need during this time frame.
Even with the food bank trying to prepare for the weather, the increase in demand can be hard to match.
We're going to need an increase in what we're, pushing out into the community. So we're going to encourage everyone to really think about that and donate those food, monetary if they can.
There are plenty of food banks in our area that could use help any time of the year. You can find out more about local food banks on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. A little later, the MIAA makes some predictions ahead of the 2024 basketball and softball season. John tells us where some local sports programs landed on the list coming up in sports.
Plus, another cold night for us tonight. We're going to be looking at that coming up next.
When your warehouse is just home of Connect to Culture and Spiva Center for the Arts.
Well, of course, another deep freeze day for us today. Highs only into the teens during the afternoon, so super cold, windy across the region. It's been a pretty cold January so far. 11 days have been below normal. And you can see really since all the way back since last Friday, we had a midnight high of 52 and then sat into the teens the rest of the day. So it's been cold. We're going to stay below normal over the next few days, and then we'll start to get some changes in here. All right, nice shot. This is our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower camera downtown. Here's Joplin Street. You can see the flags blowing in the wind, and that's making it feel colder than what it actually is. Temps right now about 10 to 15 degrees for most of us, as this Arctic air is really in place, and it's going to really settle in for us tonight. Look at some of these lows to our north. Lincoln, Sioux Falls, Des Moines, all minus 20, minus 25 degrees. Arctic air still in place tomorrow, but check this out. Once we get into Sunday, it retreats to the north, and we go back to feeling just kind of chilly or cold, just not super cold. Wind chill advisory in effect till the noon hour for us tomorrow. This is due to cold temperatures and the wind. It's breezy, northwesterly winds at about 5 to 15 for us tonight. So that gives us feels like temperatures already right now, -4 in Stockton, -2 in Neosho, 2 in Veneta, -5 in Iola. And these will take a dip as we go through the overnight hours, anywhere from -10 to -15 by morning. So dangerously cold. Wash the pets, make sure you drip the faucets as well. As we go through the daytime hours tomorrow, wind chill factor sitting 0 to about 5 above, and then they drop again tomorrow night to about 0 to -5. Not as bad tomorrow night as what we're going to see tonight. Few little clouds kind of rotating through mainly our southern counties, but not a whole bunch going on in the Central Plains. Here's our next storm system, which will start to affect us Sunday night. Until then, we stay dry, cold. Most of us about 3 or 4 degrees for an overnight low. By noon, we should get into the mid-teens, and then once we get into Saturday afternoon, 19 Chanute, 23 in Veneta, 25 in Pineville, Stockton up to about 19 degrees. Tomorrow night, we hold into the mid-teens. Then once we get into Sunday, we finally break freezing again. We get into the mid-30s for highs, which is going to be nice. All right, watch the pink. Here's 8:30 p.m. So this is a little bit of freezing rain, freezing drizzle kind of shooting across the region as we go through Monday night and or Sunday night into Monday morning. Could get a light glaze, enough that could cause the roadways to be a little bit on the slick side. The good news on this is our temperature is warm into the mid-30s once we get into Monday afternoon. So any icing issues we would have won't be a problem by about the noon hour on Monday. Day planner for you tomorrow, cold, 11 at 11 a.m., 20 by 3 p.m. We'll go for a high of 22, 38 on Sunday, that light freezing rain Sunday night. Mainly 40s to near 50 next week, but plenty of chances for rain.
I don't know about everyone else, but I think I'm done with the cold weather for now.
Yeah, it's been pretty cold over the past 10 days.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thanks, Doug. Well, still ahead, Pitt State, Missouri, Southern basketball each finished near the top of the MIAA preseason poll. And 2 of the top girls basketball teams in the area meet in Frontenac's 4-state classic. John Dales has those highlights and more up next in sports.
This winter, let Miami
Now.
Tournament week continues in the 4 states. Today, our KOAM sports team will be out at 3 different high school hoops tournaments, with action starting this afternoon at Frontenac between a couple of girls teams that won yesterday. Fort Scott girls basketball enters the day undefeated. Lady Tigers against Lady Tigers with Nevada the opponent. Clara Swearingen gets the offense started for the visitors. First, she hits a 3 from the top of the key, then off a high ball screen, 1 dribble and she connects for 2. By the time we get to this play, I think you know what's coming. Swearingen again from deep. Nevada up by 11 late in the first quarter, but Fort Scott not going to go away that easy. Keegan Urich pulls up from 3, she connects. Biggest lead of the first half after this play. Kaylee Holcomb drives to the hoop, goes through tight defense, gets the bucket in the foul. That would make it a 12-point game. Fort Scott would battle all the way back from a double-digit deficit, but Swearingen scores the game winner with just seconds left to play. Nevada hands Fort Scott its first loss of the season. We'll have more from Frontenac tonight, including Webb City boys playing in the semifinals. Over to the Bill Hanson Memorial Tournament in Pittsburgh, Carl Junction girls hoops looked as good as it had all season in a win over Olathe North last night. Tonight, the Lady Bulldogs get a true test. They face Blue Valley Northwest, who is coming off a 32-point win over Carthage in the quarterfinals yesterday. The Huskies are ranked the number 4 team in 6A in Kansas. Check back here tonight. We'll have highlights from this one and more in Pittsburgh on KOAM News at 10. Then to the third tournament taking place in Southeast Kansas today. The Lancer Classic at Southeast High School is also in the semifinal round today. College Heights and Riverton boys meet with a trip to the championship game hanging in the balance. Rams are coming off a beatdown of Southeast, 73-41 yesterday. Things were much closer for the Cougars in the semifinals. They beat Sunrise Christian by just 1 point. We'll have the highlights from the border battle between the Rams and Cougars tonight at 10 as well. It may not feel like it, but baseball and softball season just around the corner. Get ready for the cold season openers in February. This afternoon, the MIAA releases its preseason coaches poll for both baseball and softball. Starting with baseball, Missouri Southern comes in at number 2. This is after the Lions won the second most games in program history in the spring of 23 and hosted an NCAA regional. Lions returned 9 All-MIAA performers from that campaign. Pitt State right behind at number 3. The Gorillas returned plenty of talent from 2023, including MIAA Co-Player of the Year Nixon Brannon. Both PSU and Southern received 1 first-place vote as well. On the softball side, Missouri Southern picked by the coaches to finish 3rd in the conference preseason poll. They received 1 first-place vote. The Lions coming off a 41-15 season, which included going 21-5 in conference play. Pitt State, right in the middle of the pack, picked to finish 7th. The Gorillas and Lions each begin their seasons 2 weeks from tonight, February the 2nd. So I've gotten accustomed to the indoor sports in the winter, and now, like I said, only a couple of weeks away from being out in the cold outdoors again.
Well, you'll have to get used to it.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
I'm ready.
Thanks, John. Well, that's it for sports. We're right back after this.
Here with a new Aspen Trail
First medals. We are proud to salute David Loisel, a 4-state hero.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. How the Miami Public Library is celebrating the birthday of country music legend Dolly Parton. Plus, a bipartisan push in Congress could expand tax credits available to families. And why some health experts say the number on the scale shouldn't be the only thing determining if you're healthy. Those stories and a lot more tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Well, a celebrity of sorts rolled into Southwest Missouri today. Oscar Mayer's famous Wienermobile made an appearance at the Walmart in Joplin and Webb City. There were fun games to enjoy, and Wiener Mobilia was also handed out, including the iconic Wiener whistle. While the event is fun for participants, drivers say it's fun for them too. Well, how about that? I don't think I've ever seen that.
I haven't, and I'm fine if I never do.
Yeah.
It's okay.
There you go.
So, all right, it's going to be super cold tonight. Temperatures down right around 3 or 4 degrees, but wind chill minus 15. 22 tomorrow. We do get above freezing on Sunday. Ice and rain chances next week.
Alrighty, well, hopefully those temperatures stay up when you get started
Yeah,
on baseball and softball.
I hope so. Baseball season, softball season coming soon. Also, football season a long way from tonight, but some news on the coaching front. Monette High School hires Ben Mock, who is an offensive coordinator at Glendale. That's the new head coach for Monette.
All right, wonderful. All right, well, thanks for watching. We'll see you right back here at 10. Thanks for making us part of your night.
Captioning on KOAM.